I'm going to call the Council and Committee meeting to order. I'm Councillor Bruce Hayne, Acting Mayor this month, and so I'll be chairing this portion of this evening's meeting. And we have one delegation with us. Steve Dooley from Simon Fraser University is going to come and give us an update on C2U Expo for 2017. Welcome, Stephen.
Thank you very much. And I'm here with Shauna Sylvester, who is the Director of SFU Centre for Dialogue for SFU.
Hi, Shauna.
Thanks very much. How do I advance this?
Shall we go page down?
No.
Page up again. It's at the end.
Oh, it's at the end.
That's good. So you don't get dizzy? There we go.
Okay, there we are. Well, thanks for taking the time to listen to us today. We wanted to tell you a little bit about a project that we're doing, SFU is doing. It's called C2 Expo 2017 for the Common Good. And this is a biennial conference that brings together individuals and practitioners from across Canada and around the world, all with a common objective to further community campus partnerships. We're titling this For the Common Good because our plan is to bring about 500 delegates from across Canada and internationally to both Surrey and Vancouver to further the conversation. And we're calling it For the Common Good because it's one thing to have community university partnerships, but the other question is, so what? What do they actually achieve? What actually changes? What improves in our society based on these partnerships? And so that's why we're calling it For the Common Good. There's going to be two parts to this. We're going to do the first part is on May 1st and 2nd, called the Community Jam in Surrey, and Shauna's going to be talking more specifically about that. And then we're talking about Walk the Talk, which is going to be in Vancouver, May 3rd to 5th. And one of the key components of C2U Expo, and I believe that for those of you who have worked with me, you know this, I believe strongly in building community capacity as you deliver something like this. So it's one thing to put on a conference, but how can we actually build community capacity as we develop the conference itself? So one of our plans is a Community Ambassadors Program, which will be in both parts of For the Common Good. We're going to hire and train 50 vulnerable community members to work at the conference in a variety of capacities. We've developed partnerships with the nonprofit communities, organizations for the recruitment and partnering with them to make sure that the people we pick from their agencies, it fits what they're doing with the agencies and advances what their own individual plans are. And there's talk that we're going to develop this into an actual social enterprise, so just not a one-off for this conference, but is there an opportunity to develop something like this for the many conferences that SFU runs and other universities and so on, and a post-conference follow-up for 1 year is what we're going to be looking at as well. So this kind of leads into talking a little bit about the Jam and the first part and why Surrey. And one of the things that we want to talk about there is, and you don't need to be reminded about how young Surrey is, about how it's such a growing community. But one of the things I want to emphasize is that the partnership between the City of Surrey and SFU and KPU as well. The City of Surrey has shown great leadership in the development of campus community partnerships, and it's a great opportunity to showcase what's happening in the City of Surrey. There's in the diagram here, we've rolled up our sleeves quite a bit. The work we're doing on the Poverty Reduction Coalition, the Surrey Urban Aboriginal work that's being done, the local immigration partnership. So there's lots of things we've been co-creating, co-working with together. And then also just bringing people to this amazing community, and literally how SFU and the City of Surrey, we've really kind of grown up together in this community. So with that, the Community Jam.
Yes, the Community Jam. Well, this is Surrey's portion of C2U Expo, and we're very excited about this. Imagine bringing 23 design thinkers from across the country together to the island of Wasson. And Aileen Murray was here as part of your team, as well as Steve Dooley, Nav Chima, and others from Surrey. And we asked them, design a session that is going to be transformational. Design something that is going to bring philanthropists with academics, with community. And they said, well, first of all, we're not going to call it a conference. And second, it's not going to be a place where we just listen to people speak. We are going to do, we're going to see, we're going to work together. And that became the Community Jam, and they were thrilled that it was going to be in Surrey. They want the Jam to reflect Surrey. They want the Jam to reflect the energy, the kind of partnerships that have existed in Surrey. So the focus is building on our Governor General's theme of smart and caring communities. How do we create smart and caring communities? How do we match community foundations like Surrey Cares with community groups and groups like SFU or Kwantlen Polytechnic? What do we do, and how do we create the kind of transformational relationships? We also want to do this within the recognition that we're working out of 10,000 years of tradition. So having a very strong Aboriginal content to what we're doing. So it's going to be fun, it's going to be interactive, and it's going to be grounded in Surrey. So I just want to take you through a little bit of what we're talking about and what the design came to be. So we arrive May 30th. This is even before it begins, so we're going to start with Cheers with Peers. So that's an event where we just get together in informal activity, welcome people. We want people to connect together. Then we open day one, and this is where we will hope that the Mayor of Surrey and Aboriginal leaders, Mayor Hepner, will be a part of that welcoming with our own President, Andrew Petter, and one of our other partners, the J.W. McConnell Family Foundation, so that we can demonstrate that partnership between community, philanthropy, and universities. Then we'll take people on, they'll have a chance to come. We are recruiting 25 delegations from across the country, 5 international, and 100 community enablers. Those, we call them the free radicals, people that are just registering as individuals. But everyone is going to be there either as a community enabler or as a delegation from another community that's working on this philanthropy academic community partnership. And we're going to put them on a journey through Surrey. We're going to have food trucks where they start, and then they're going to go on a community journey through Surrey. They're going to come back to their base camps, they're going to talk about what they're learning, and then we're going to take them on another outing within Surrey, something that involves food. You'll see the food metaphor through the whole thing. The community jam, the food metaphors, we're creating a recipe book at the end, and that recipe book is how you do this kind of work effectively. And then we open, we hope, with a pancake breakfast right outside here, again, part of Surrey. Open spaces, we're doing a marketplace of ideas. We're doing challenges where people get a chance to bring their difficult issues to the table and learn from others across the country and across the world that are going to be there. And then we're using this as a springboard to the larger C2U Expo. So we're actually going to bring the delegations that are going to C2U Expo to Vancouver. So there's a sense of this transition from Surrey to Vancouver. I'm going to hand it back to Steve.
So I'd like you to think about what some of the benefits of this partnership are and this activity that we're doing with the jam and the full conference. And by the way, as Shauna said, the jam is the stuff you put on your toast, right? So it's a food metaphor that we're going with. So it's going to be a showcase of Surrey, including a showcase of the City of Surrey's post-secondary partnerships. So we talk about ourselves as the engaged university, and Mayor Hepner, I love your line that if we're the engaged university, we're engaged to the City of Surrey. So I want to thank you for that. So kind of showcasing those partnerships. And I think it'll give the City of Surrey a chance to play a leadership role in what will be a national conversation with various foundations about what it means to be smart and caring communities. And so in that context, there will be a call to action that comes out of this. And I think one of the legacies pieces for the City of Surrey is it will advance the various components of the Sustainability Charter, including the work that we're doing around poverty reduction, including the work that we're doing around working with refugees. There will be connections that are made to new partners and new opportunities to advance what you are already doing. And that's really critical to this, is this isn't something that's just going to parachute in. It's meant to kind of elevate what's already happening within communities, not just here, communities across the country and internationally as well. And I think it's a huge opportunity to advance new relationships and partnerships as the City of Surrey and as the various people within the city get involved in the planning and the delivery and the participation in the conference as well.
So my part is to ask, what kind of support do we need, is the question. And first and foremost, we need you at the table. And we've had the City of Surrey part of the design process. It's very much coming out of that. You'll see the picture there. That's from another event we did called Thrive, which was around your sustainability charter that we did at SFU. We've done your community summit. We know what it is to have the value of the City of Surrey at the table. So we need you at the table. We need you to help us design that community journey. We obviously want you, Mayor Hepner, to play a role, a leadership role in terms of the welcoming. We want to work through your Aboriginal Indigenous Committee to help us think through what is appropriate in terms of Aboriginal content in the whole lead-up and process. We need support in terms of the promotion and recruitment, not just of the delegations, but of the community ambassadors and of those free radicals, those enablers. And then we want you to come in financial support. I want to give you a sense of some of the support we've already received. The Vancouver Foundation has provided us with $50,000 with the possibility of giving more in the new year. And they're going to enable Surrey Cares to support this as well. Van City has come in with $15,000 as well as money towards the Ambassadors Program. The J.W. McConnell Family Foundation has come in with $35,000. SFU has put more money into this initiative than they have put to any other event that they've ever hosted. So this is a significant relationships. And the Community Foundations of Canada are going to match other community foundations of Canada across the country and internationally of up to $7,500 to support delegations coming and to continue the work that they were doing. So we've done a good job. We even have the Surrey board, Surrey BIA coming in to support us. And we'll be looking for other local partners to support us, particularly through the food and the catering. So we would like to ask you to come on board. We hope you will consider a grant in the amount of $25,000 to support us, and you will be, as you already are, seen as a major host of this very important event.
And, of course, we want you also to attend the conference. So we hope to see you there. So that's our delegation, and we really appreciate your time. And if you have any questions, we'd be glad to answer them.
You have on the call for delegations, so you have a chance to see how we're talking about this with others.
We do have some questions. Councillor LaFranc.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your presentation. It was very, very spirited, and I'm just so thrilled to be on the Secretariat. It's been a real learning adventure for me, and I feel like the relationship is very close. I want to also thank Aileen Murphy from Social Planning for going to the Wasson Island to do the planning process, and I think that it's going to be an amazing event, and I appreciate how thoughtful SFU has been in putting this together. I think it's really exciting that we get to see people and delegations from all over the world coming to our city, which we're incredibly proud of. So thank you for your work, and will you be coming forward with more updates as your planning progresses?
Absolutely. If that's what you'd like, we would definitely come forward with updates for sure.
Mayor Hepner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate that. This sounds so exciting and fascinating to me. May the 1st and 2nd, I think it's good timing. I'm wondering if you are thinking that this would be something. First of all, let's go back to C2U. Yes. Is that community cares, or what does C to the second power mean?
So that was on the first slide. You can see that this is the 7th CU Expo that's been held. And each expo kind of adds a new kind of dimension to what's been done. So at the last expo, which was held at Carleton University, they added to the power of 2. And what that means is community college university. So it's community college and then university, because the colleges had been left out from previous expos, so now they're included with that to the power of 2.
So it will be globally recognized. Yes. Within the genre of universities. Absolutely. And colleges now. So I wonder if our hotel next to the Simon Fraser University would be open by then. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's too bad. It would have been nice to showcase that whole square with the university, but we will certainly be eager to be good participants and to identify for you some strong delegations that can contribute as the.
But depending on where they're at, it could be a potential site visit for. So we are wanting the delegates to get out and about and see what's going on in Surrey, including we're hoping to have a delegation come on over to City Hall and sit with some councillors and talk about what's going on around campus community partnerships and the value that you see from your perspective. So yeah, depending on where they're at, we can include them in some way.
Well, I won't speak for my colleagues in terms of giving away any of our funds yet, but I can tell you that anytime you're bringing the world to Surrey, we're going to participate. So I appreciate your delegation here today and all that you've described. It sounds very exciting.
Thank you, Mayor.
We'll let you know.
Councillor Villeneuve.
Thank you very much. I've heard the presentation before and was very excited about the direction that you're moving and hosting this particular jam. And I think that Surrey has some experience with it, and it's been very valuable. So I think that's great. I just two things. First of all, we do have a council initiative fund, so you may want to apply to that for the financial support that you're looking for. And secondly, that we just hosted the Creative Cities Conference. Mm-hmm. And so to talk to Sheila McKinnon and Leanne Davidson at the Surrey Arts Centre about their experience and what they saw as what worked well and the kinds of tours that they gave, I think because it's fresh, just from a few months ago, that it would be valuable and they would be very supportive. So
that's a great idea. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, great. Well, I don't see any more questions, but Sean and Steve, thank you so much for coming out and talking about this exciting event and the partnerships, obviously, that the city and SFU have together on so many different levels work so well. So you can be sure that we're going to be part of this as well. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you very much.
A call for adjournment.
Adjourned. Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? That